with that in mind, do you keep submission reports?
Absolutely.
So what is that like for an agent? Like we hear about them. I don't know. I don't think many actors ask for them. But what is the submission report on your end?
I love when they do.
Oh, really?
Because then it shows them that I've actually been doing more than they probably even thought.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm happy to share the submission report.
That's funny.
It's like, here's a bite of reality. Here's what you're going up against. Especially in the commercial and the print world, you can get 5,000 submissions on a roll.
It's nuts.
So to even be blessed to get in that room, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And my wife's an actress, singer, performer for her entire life. So I go home, I get to hear what it was like in the trenches. So I know what the shit talk's going on out there of what the actor might think the agent is doing or isn't doing.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to share the submission report. And we also hold these free kind of workshops at my agency for the actual Saint talent. And it's really an open format. Any questions they have for me, fully transparent.
Oh, that's great.
If they have a great class they've gotten into, they can share it with the other actors. Really just trying to create a community of comfortability and just inspiration. And I just want to motivate you and artists in general to continue to go after what they believe in, because it's really a I have to type of industry.
That's super cool.
If you're short on that part, if you're trying to dip your toes in dentistry and acting, it's not gonna play out.
You got a dentist on your roster?
Some that have tried.
Wow, that's nuts.
I'm telling you, everybody thinks they can be in a commercial.
That's hilarious. But when they do ask you for a submission report, do you take offense to that then?
I don't, because at this point, nothing's really personal to me.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm just like, I have pretty thick skin about it. It's even if somebody leaves me, I don't really think twice about it, because at the end of the day, it's all about the actor.
Right.
I'm not speaking you, but they're thinking of their best interest.
Yeah,
and I
absolutely.
support that.
Yeah.
If somebody has to leave me because they got a great theatrical agency and that theatrical agency said it's contingent you come across the board, God bless you. That's
Right.
what your ultimate goal has always been. I've known it, and so I wish the best for you.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to spend any type of negative energy on anything in general.
I think it's probably a good thing to ask for, because it's just showing each other your car. You're being open and transparent with each other. Like, you're going to assume your actors are out training, out working, out doing what they can for their business, and they're assuming you're doing it too. So I think it's good for transparency purposes.
Yeah, exactly. And if they're asking for me, I'm like, oh, that actor's on top of their shit.
Yeah, they care.
They care, and they want to see, and they want to get better, and they want to see, oh, maybe I want to do some drop-offs to these casting directors that have been pitched to but haven't necessarily called me in for, or whatever it may be. I'm totally cool with that. Like, transparency and taking the mystery out of what I do is one of the top priorities for me.
I think
because if you sat with me at my desk all day, there's really not. I mean, a trained monkey could do it at certain times. I have no real. I'm pretty humble about it.
I think that's pretty smart. Even like coming to do this podcast, I appreciate, because I think a lot of actors are like, oh, agents, I don't want to step on their toes type of stuff. And it's like, you opening your arms, I think, is a very smart thing, because then they appreciate you more.
It's
They'll
communication.
work for you harder. Yeah.
I don't want there to be any sort of division there. It's communication, no secret. I'm trying to help you guys out. I'm really more of a tool for you guys. I do not make a dime unless you've booked a job.
Yeah.
You don't book that job unless I got you in that room.
Right.
So it's only in my best interest to kill for everybody that I represent.
Absolutely.
Especially when it's my agency. It's like everything,
Yeah.
And so that's why I am very picky in particular with who I do bring on, because it's like, I'm going to put everything I have into you guys.
Yeah.
So I don't want to care about your career more than you care about it.
Right.
And that's, that we go off another road about people missing auditions, or
that's nuts to me.
Or booking out for half the year.
That anyone could miss an audition is infuriating just to me. So
I almost cry by myself.
I get it.
When I see that.
I get it. When I talked to Ross Lacey a few weeks ago, and he's like, I get all of these. It's like, and
it breaks.
And you don't show up.
It breaks my heart. And then I have to go to the casting director, like a Ross Lacey or something, and they're going, why do you even submit them if they're not around? And then I'm going,
that's a great question.
Trust me. I've asked that question. So it's really important on my end to make sure that I communicate with the actors and know what they're doing, because I consider them available unless they've told me they're not
As you should,
available.
yeah.
As I should.
Yeah.
You can't operate a company without doing it like that, I think.
What is on your submission report? Do agents is it come via the software, or do you have your own like spreadsheet type of thing?
I do both. To any job, there's a few different steps. So you have the audition, you have the callback,
right,
and then you have the avail, or getting pinned for a job, and then you actually have the booking.
Right.
So, unfortunately, the software on one of the sites that I use doesn't provide.
LA Casting?
I thread in between LA Casting, Actors Access, and Casting Frontier.
Okay.
So those are the three majority popular ones. They do okay. I feel like the software could be a little bit better and improve and give us more detail. And it's you see the improvement, but it's basically right now it's on LA Casting, for instance, is the date I submitted it, the casting director, the role, and the brand.
Okay.
So let's just say it's McDonald's,
Right.
Ross Lacey, the date, and then girls shopping at the mall or whatever.
Yeah.
So
and then what is your personal one? You just like
my
fill in the rest
personal
of the
one.
numbers?
Well, I get ninja on the data of what my actors are doing. So I know how often someone's booking out. I know if somebody was late. I know how many avails they got, how many times they booked. I know what their callback to audition percentages.
That's amazing.
I know what their callback to avail percentages, and then I know their avail to booking percentage. That helps me. I don't think, well, they do now, but they don't know I'm doing that.
I do that, so I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, I have a Google sheet of every audition I've been on,
right?
Every casting director,
right,
just so I can know and get familiar.
I've had a few actors that I've seen do that, and good for you.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Good for you. I love data. I love statistics. It tells you a lot, and everything can be broken down kind of mathematically there. And then I also get to see, okay, what casting directors have they called them in repeatedly?
Right.
Who's not calling them in?
Right.
Like, whose radar do we need to get on? Who do we need to pitch to? Like, just make it like it's math.
Yeah, it literally, especially for
1 + 1
commercials.
= 2. Yeah,
commercials is a huge numbers
Right.
game, and like. For Ross, I notice he consistently brings me in for union stuff. So it's like Ross likes me. I can talk to you. Things like that. And then who doesn't bring me in? It's exactly that. I don't know why actors don't do this by themselves, because it's part of your business. You got to figure out what's working and what's not.
It really is. And you just want to, because the name of the game is that relationship, really. You could be the best actor in the world. I've got some really incredible Harvard MFAs, Tisch, like some really great career actors that don't necessarily book jobs, and they don't really. There's certain techniques to auditioning and being on time and fitting the wardrobe notes and looking at the sides before and not just resting on your laurels. And there's like some work to be done there. So I think if you can tell. Obviously, if someone like Ross calls you in, you're doing something right with them, but it all began with that relationship. They can trust you now.
Yeah, totally.
And I want every casting director to trust Saint, because under Saint is the umbrella of all the people that I trust.
Yep.
Well,
and it's funny too, because Ross mentioned he keeps submission reports. He knows the percentages of callback versus brought in, and he goes to certain agents first because he knows they bring good people.
Right.
So it's really, we need
Full
to be more
circle.
charismatic.